It's like 9 o'clock at night and I'm just like rambling in front of a camera, but who cares? It's my space. I can do what I want. Hi, my name is Grace and welcome to my evening space. How are you all? Are y'all good? Are you hanging in there? Lord knows I am. Oh, there's a hair in front of my camera. Lord knows I am actively trying to do so for myself. And I thought it'd be a nice idea to sit down, do some oil cleansing, makeup removal, and chat about the various things that I've been thinking through, like just a nice little oil cleanse with me. Because for me, oil cleansing is probably the longest step in my skincare routine. The amazing Beautyologist on YouTube, who if you have not seen her channel or watched any of her videos, you are missing out. She's astounding. She's a wonderful esthetician on YouTube. She talks about her double cleansing method where she oil cleanses for a really long time and then like the blackheads come out. It's really dope. I'll link the video below where she talks about that. But since I watched that video, I've been doing a super extensive oil cleanse basically every single day. It's like my therapy time. So I thought it'd be fun to sit down and record a little video of me going through my oil cleanse routine and my whole makeup removal process and chatting skin health and skincare, because I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts on how things have been going on and how society has come to talk about skincare, both positive and in a lot of ways negative. But we'll get to that. All right, let's get into the video. So first and foremost, when I take off my makeup, I come in with the Halika olive oil cleansing eye makeup and lip makeup remover. As you've probably already seen on my channel, I like to go all out with the eyeshadow looks and if I'm feeling crazy with the lip look. So I like to have a separate eye makeup remover that's different from everything else so I can be really gentle around that area. Also, I use it to take off lashes, which is what I'm gonna do now. So that's what's happening. So skincare. I mean, like I said in my Innisfree video, I have been doing this skincare thing probably been really invested for like 4 years. Out of those 4 years, I would only say about 3 years have we been doing anything properly. Very much the first year was like a disarray of, not ready to come off yet. It was just like a long laundry list of me doing everything wrong to my face. So like lemon as a toner, coconut oil, for everything. Like it was just like not good and I was breaking out more and I was not doing, and it didn't make sense because I would see all these blogs and I'd be like, they said like natural skincare and I thought the moment I started taking care of my skin, all my issues would go away. And yet here I was with issues. This glue is really being stubborn today. Here I was with all these issues and it was really upsetting me and my homegirls. So that's when I also, around the same time, I started getting really into Korean dramas. And the moment I started watching Korean dramas excessively, it was a wrap. Like the moment I would like look at their skin and they'd have their glass skin and all this stuff and they just look so good. And I would just really be sitting there like, I want that. Like I want skin that's not just clear. I want skin that literally looks like you could bounce a ball over it because it's so plump. Like that's what I want. I don't just want no acne. And so that brought me into the world of Korean skincare and the idea of like taking care of my skin. And like I talked to my Innisfree video, like not really punishing my skin, which is all well and good, you know? Oh, I then take that pad and try to get off as much makeup as possible just so I don't waste the one little pad that I've used. And then I feel like we then enter this space where, you know, TikTok then came on the skincare scene and everybody, you know, had their Twitter skincare threads and all that stuff. And then I feel like the whole thing kind of moved in this place where it was very much about like having the clearest skin as possible. Who could have the skin with no acne marks, no scars, that never broke out ever again? Like you had no issues ever. And I feel like as a result, two things happen. People who had acne scars and acne scarring that were like permanent acne scarring, immediately like isolated, like immediately made to feel like your skin is bad. Anybody who looks like you, it's bad. And it's like, well, no. they also have healthy skin that just looks different. And then also, it also became this like self-esteem thing. I'm coming in for my actual first part 1 of my oil cleansing routine. I come in with the Fig cleansing balm. I'm from Fig cleansing balm. I love it. It's really fragrant. So if you don't like fragrance, it's not for you, but I really actually love the fragrance. It feels very luxurious. So I just come in with my spatula and I put it directly on my face. It's probably not hygienic, but nobody else uses a spatula but me. So I don't really worry about that. Plus, if they didn't want me to put the spatula on my face, why give me a spatula? You know what I mean? I'm probably wearing too much, but who cares? So, what then? Where was I? What was I talking about? It's my memory. Right. So then it immediately became this thing where it's like makeup, the focus, Glossier became popular, and it's like, the idea that it's like, oh, wearing less foundation and letting your own skin show through and blah, blah, blah. And it's all about you. And I agreed. And I was also definitely a part of that. And I still think I am. I definitely don't wear as much like physical makeup. Like I wear probably more makeup on my eyes in terms of looks like that, but I don't think I wear nearly as much like physical face makeup like I used to. And that's definitely a big part of it because I was like, I want to let my skin show through. But then I saw this not weird change, but this like really negative change where it then became like nobody ever wants pimples or zits. But now it was almost like if you have pimples and zits, you are like the bottom of the barrel society because look at you. You have all the skincare things in this place. So you have all the things in place so that you don't deal with that. Why is your skin bad? And then it became this like vilification. And as TikTok became more popular and like yes, I feel like ads and stuff started to show people more in their natural light. But then in a way, the wording kind of shifted. So it was like of this mindset that one, like if your skin still breaks out or goes through all the things that skin does, then there's something wrong with you, which then just makes you feel crappy about yourself. But also something that I immediately noticed was like, if you said you like skincare, then that means you don't have skincare, that you don't have skin issues anymore. Like your skin is perfect. And obviously I don't really expect my influencers and estheticians to go online and be like, here's my huge new pimple. I think I can only think of like 2 who like legitimately will do that. But I think as a result, it's created this expectation that skincare products create this like permanent fix that then if your skin reverts in any type of way, it's on you. It just makes you feel really crappy. So like my skin, I have oily skin, but it's also dehydrated. And prior to getting into skincare, I didn't really understand that the dehydration was the issue. I just knew that my skin would feel tight in some places, but then I'd put makeup on and the oil would ruin it. So I was like, okay, whatever. Once I worked out the dehydration on my skin suddenly looked so much brighter and like nicer, and like people would notice me, be like, oh my gosh, like compliment me on my skin all the time. But I still very much dealt with breakouts. Like I still sometimes get like the worst breakouts on my cheeks. Are still mostly hormonal. They're coming crazy and then go. And because I pick my spots, because you can say you love skincare as much as you want, you've still picked a spot you weren't supposed to. Like we're human. So I'll get these like crazy, just like right now they're healed up, so they don't look that bad. But I promise you, when they're bad, when my skin breaks out, she breaks out. And the resulting feeling when that happens nowadays is like I feel crappier than I did when I was younger before I got into skincare. Like, yeah, I feel way shittier about the fact that my skin breaks out now than I did years ago. Years ago, I don't think I cared. I was like, kind of like, whatever, we all get pimples, let me wash my face and get rid of it. But now I feel like I failed because, the conversation around skincare is that you're going to do these things and you're perfect. And that's not true, because that's not how human bodies work, Like I was not genetically blessed with skin that's never gonna have issues. And so even now that I have this huge collection and all these products and the un-niacinamides and the azelaic acids and the mugworts and all that stuff, my skin is still going to do what it does. And everything else is just helping. Like the way I view it is like my skin is going to act the way she wants to act. And I am just giving her the tools to manage it accordingly, like parenting. Like I feel like skincare is like proper parenting. You like give your kids the tools to be the best versions of themselves, but at the end of the day, your kid's gonna do what your kid wants to do. And that's how my face is. Like I give my face as many tools to do what I think is the best version of herself. But at the end of the day, if she wants to break out she's gonna do that. And the moment I put the pressure on myself, like, oh, like, you must be perfect, so that can't happen anymore, then I like hate myself. Because then I'm like, these products aren't working. And it's like, well, yeah, they are. Because my overall face looks so much healthier and so much brighter and so much more rejuvenated than it ever did when I was younger. So it's definitely working, but we're always gonna have like setbacks and falters and all that stuff. And I feel like the way I'm trying to learn how to keep a healthy balance of being like, I love skincare and I want everybody to engage with it, but also tiptoeing this like toxic line that I started to notice, especially the last like 7 months, where it's like, I'm not trying to put pressure on people to feel perfect. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to be like, suggest people to do things or be like, watch this YouTuber, watch this esthetician, go, this dermatologist has a wonderful blog. And then somebody gets into it and then it works and then maybe it stops working or like they have a bad skin week or something and then they immediately feel like they're garbage because everybody told them this was the solution. So I'm unfixable. Like the amount of times people have told me, it's like, well, nothing works for me. I'm just like, my skin's just effed up or something. And I'm like, well, that's not true. Something's going to work for you. And also like realistic expectations are okay. Like I'm really tired of seeing those Instagram, Twitter thread things where you have like a random beautiful person with beautiful, gorgeous skin, which is like so happy for them. Like genuinely, like, yes, I wish my skin did what yours did. But I am my own person. And so if the narrative is that I'm going to take 4 products and I'm immediately going to become like you, then I don't become like you. Now I hate myself. And I think that is the exact opposite reason of what got me into skincare in the first place. And maybe I'm like naive and skincare is way more conceited than I've always taken it to be. But me, it's always been of the luxury of the experience. Like sitting down and doing in some cases, I've literally sat and done an oil cleanse for like 45 minutes. Doing like a really long oil cleanse when I massage my face with this luxurious, nice smelling oil. And I really break down all of the day's impurities and hardships. Like that's to me skincare. That's what that is to me. But like so often, I just see people trying to make it all a quick fix and then villainize themselves and the products and stuff when it doesn't immediately work. And it's just like, it's all rushed and you just feel, yeah. My self-confidence has somehow taken a hit doing the thing that used to make me feel so self-confident, because in the moments that my skin isn't perfect, I feel really crappy. When it's like, that's just what it was gonna do, you know? Okay, that's part 1 of my oil cleanse. You're probably thinking like, there's more. Absolutely, yes, I do this oil cleanse a lot. So you oil cleanse twice. So you oil cleanse to remove the makeup and then you oil cleanse to actually oil cleanse. So I will be right back. I'm gonna wash off my face and I'll be back. Okay, we are back, face ashy, ready for part 2. So I'm coming in with the Hada Labo oil cleansing oil. I bought this for my sister, but she doesn't wear nearly enough makeup. So sometimes when I really want a super duper duper luxurious oil cleanse, I'll come in as this for my second half. But other times I'll just use this twice. This cleansing oil, I like it. She's thick and you really have to take the time to emulsify her. Like really take the time to get her into there and like rub her in. Like she's very thick. Like way thicker than that cleansing balm. But prefer it for days that I'm really trying to do like a massage. Very affordable too, and it comes with like a refill situation, so I really like that. But yes, she's a sick one. Okay, now that I've gotten all of the aspects that have literally been driving me insane recently about skincare, it just feels like I don't want skincare to become elitist. And I think it kind of already is. Like, I'll see the way people like educate people about skincare things. Like, people will be like, oh, I wash my face with this, and everyone's in the comments like, you idiot bastard, why would you do that? And it's like, no, don't be so mean. I'll see like people be like, oh yeah, I like products with fragrance, and it's like, you're gonna burn your face off. And it's like, my face is entirely different from somebody else's. There are people who hate this Hada Labo oil. I love it. I think it's good, and I think it's thick, and it does what it needs to do. Some people hate it. Some people hate the I'm From Fig Balm Cleansing Balm. I think it's luxury in a container. Everybody's faces are so different. Your needs are so different. And I hate skincare is becoming very, very elitist. And it's becoming very like claws out. And it makes me sad, because the reason why I was so gung-ho about Korean skincare in the first place was how accessible I felt Korean skincare was. Like, it didn't matter who you were, you could afford at least one quality Korean or Japanese product. Hada Labo is Japanese. This product is $12, and its refill is $11. I'm like a gold member at Yes Style at this point, so I think I even got it for my sister for cheaper. It's this big old bottle, like, and it's great, you know? A little goes a long way. And obviously, you don't need to oil cleanse for half an hour. Video, Nye talks about how like you oil cleanse for a while, and then some of the pores like the pockets of sebum in your pores kind of get attached to the oil and they start popping out. Since I do this kind of often, I'm not feeling that right now, but on like really clogged days, I definitely do get little pockets of sebum on my fingers, and it's very exciting. Okay, I got distracted. All right. So as I was saying, the thing that got me into Korean sides of skincare, because I felt like it was so accessible. So accessible. I felt like it was really, really for anyone. You had your high end, but because of the fact that you just had such quality skincare for just such affordable prices, it was just like a teenager could buy like a $5 toner and know it was going to do what it needed to do. Like, you're paying for something that will actually benefit your face. And that's not necessarily here, because sometimes you can pay $5 for a toner, and who knows what's in that toner? Who knows, you know? So I really appreciated that. There was a lack of elitism. But now I feel like that elitism is back with TikTok, because also like a lot of the skincare products I see promoted aren't Korean, which is so interesting, because they're all kind of inspired by Korean or Japanese methods of skincare. But a lot of the products I see promoted are like Sephora or Ulta skincare, and they're like $40 a pop, and they're being promoted on TikTok for like 9-year-olds. And I'm like how can you, like, y'all can afford this? Because when I was at that age, I was struggling to afford and Clean and Clear on my own, you know? And so that I'm like, I guess if your parents are down to buy that for you, and then on top of that, there just became this elitism of feeling like if somebody disagreed with you on your skincare opinion, they're the devil. Like, now that is not to say I have not been somebody who's been like, no, that is wrong. And I will stick by that. On certain things, I'm not backing down. Like you will never catch me in a single street being okay with this whole put raw fresh lemon juice on your face. As somebody whose family member now has like basically like permanent skin damage because of traditional lemon skin remedies, and her face is always going to be a little bit too, it's going to be partially burnt because of it. I don't mess with that. Like, it's, like certain things I'm going to be like, it's a hard pass, you know? Coconut oil used to break me out like crazy because it's super comedogenic. I'm sorry, no. Like, there's like certain things that I'm just kind of not gonna, like, you can do it for you, but if you go promote it, I'm gonna be like, hey, maybe don't promote that because it's caused serious damage to people. Like St. Ives apricot scrub, you promoting that on TikTok, I might not bully, but I might push, you know? But then there will just be people who like, are just like, yeah, so I wash my face with CeraVe, and then I come in with this toner from Neutrogena, and then I put on my Cetaphil moisturizer, and people are like, guns out. Like, and you're like, I'm not the biggest fan of Neutrogena, and Cetaphil and CeraVe, I'm a hoochie for packaging, so they do nothing for me. But if that works for you, that works for you, and they are all fine brands. Like, they're fine. Like, are they the most evolution in the game? No, but we all knew that. Like, so, like, you don't need to murk somebody on the internet for it. And then, like, this whole fragrance debate where people, it's like skincare has been in fragrance for as long as skincare has been around. And, like, that's not always a good thing. Essential oils, I don't love essential oils on my face. I can tolerate it. I think I start running into issues when essential oils are the majority. Like I said, like, Innisfree is a brand that I love. But their whole Youth and Orchid Enrich line has so many essential oils, and I hate that line. Like, I'm not going near it. Excuse me. I'm not going near it. I literally won't go near it. Like, I hate that line with everything in me. And so, like, that's like a good example of like something with essential oils I wouldn't like. But this has fragrance in it. Like if you could smell this, like, you'd be like, fragranted, like, absolutely. And I love it. It's luxe. It's a wash off treatment. It's not staying on my face for a super long time. And it smells so luxurious, and I enjoy the feeling. Like, skincare to me, I'm half in it for the luxury. I'm half in it for the therapy, because Lord knows y'all don't provide enough therapy options in life for Black women. So yeah, I'm gonna come here to my little shelf and find it for myself. But that's also not to discredit anyone who's very anti-fragrance, because there's plenty of reasons for them to be, but there's a space for both sides. And I just feel like it's starting to get so polarizing. And I realized how crazy the divide had gotten, how elitist skincare had gotten with the Fenty Beauty launch. The Fenty Skin launch. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, y'all are tearing apart estheticians and dermatologists. Like, dermatologists, imagine pulling up in a dermatologist's DMs to scream at her and say, like, she doesn't she doesn't deserve her license because she said, like, fragrances aren't that bad. Just avoid it if you're allergic. What? If people liked Fenty Beauty, they were sucking up. If they didn't, they were hating assholes. It was just so aggressive. And I was like, it made me bummed out, because so far, at least on Twitter, I genuinely think, and that fingers crossed this stays, the skincare community on Twitter, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, is one of the just most nice communities. Like, everybody's just doing their own aesthetic and loving on their faces. Like, that's it. Everybody has their own vibes, their own ways of doing things. And everybody respects that everybody's face is different. They have all their opinions, and they leave room for discourse, and it's wonderful. And even when y'all try to make certain even when y'all try to make certain YouTubers bring them into beef, because you're always saying, like, well, if it's not approved by them, it's burn it. They themselves will then go out and be like, no, that's not the case, because there's so much room for discourse when it comes to skincare. I like to think of myself as a student. Like, I'm just a student of skincare. You know, as a skincare enthusiast, all I am is a student of skincare. I like learning about it. I like learning about what the different ingredients do. I like learning about formulations. I like learning about how you could have an ingredient on its own that is super detrimental, and then put it in this formulation and it's really good for your face. Like, I like that. I'm a student of skincare. I am not an authority on skincare. Even like my friends in life, when they ask me things, like, I'm like, I will info dump on you, But I also don't want you to think I'm an authority on you, because at the end of the day, it's your face and it's my face. And I'm just little old me. So like, imagine these people who have like 3 million subscribers, 900,000 subscribers, 70,000 subscribers. And it's like, they're also students of skincare. Quite frankly, unless you have a degree, unless there's a degree on the wall, then we're all just students sharing what we learned in class. You know, isn't that what the skincare community is? Like, in my opinion, you have at the top, like the dermatologists and the estheticians who like sit on the top, who are like, here. And then the rest of us are students, and we like grab all that information and then we spread it amongst everyone we know, which is super fun. But like, it quickly becomes toxic when when you take out the room for discourse, and you take out the room for conversation and differing opinions, you know, where people don't want to have, like, when people want clear answers on things, because there are things and ingredients and things that people have very clear answers to, you know what I mean? Like, dermatologists have very clear opinions on certain ingredients, because they're like, yes, it can be damaging. But then at the same time, they don't, because then they're like, well, actually, if you take that ingredient at a diluted for smaller portion, it can actually be beneficial. You know, maybe it's the Libra in me, but I'm like, why can't we just be in the middle? Why can't we be in the middle? I just want us to be in the middle and happy. Yeah, I push my face. Why can't we be in the middle? I just want us to be in the middle and be kinder. Be kinder to each other, you know what I mean? Just be kinder to each other. Like, nowadays, I view my philosophy on viewing skincare, I kind of now focus on what is my skin health? What is the health of my skin? And that has allowed me to separate my ego and self-esteem and insecurities from what is happening with my skin. You know, you don't villainize someone for being sick. Like, when somebody goes to the hospital and they get diagnosed with something, they don't come home and everybody was like, you idiot, why are you sick? Blah, 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 blah. You just give them the medicine they need and you try to take care of them as much as possible. You don't villainize somebody for getting a cold. Everybody gets a cold. So like, you just take care of them to the best of his ability and then they get better. And that's kind of how I'm choosing to now view my skincare. It's like, if I break out, that means my skin is a little sick that day. You know, she's having a little cold, she's having a little rough time. That's fine. I'm gonna give her the medicine she needs. It's in the cabinet. I'm gonna be extra careful and nice to her until she's back to tip-top shape. And then I'm just gonna continue to give her vitamins and little things to try to keep her healthy. And if she gets sick again, it's fine. She got sick again. We're just gonna start the process again. Rather than being like, I expect perfection at all times. Because when you expect perfection out of your skin at all times, you are then saying you expect perfection out of yourself at all times. And what happens is that people start to project their own insecurities into the act of taking care of their skin. Their own financial and professional and personal and everything insecurities and physical and all that stuff is being filtered into how they feel about 2 pimples on their face. It's too much pressure. In person, like, my face isn't super clear. I was editing my BTS Dynamite video and I was like, up close, you can see how just like, at the time I was dealing with a huge hormonal breakout and you could see how my skin was like going through the wire, but then you'd back up and my skin would look fine and it'd be like, oh, it's funny. But then I also thought, I was like, well, actually, because my skin is healthy. Like, yes, I'm having a hormonal breakout right now. And so I have pimples here and whatever, but my skin overall is really healthy. It's really hydrated. It's really like my sebum production is mostly regulated. The complexion is bright and energized. My skin is really healthy. I'm just dealing with a cold. My skin's just dealing with the cold. But overall, it's much healthier than most. And then once I thought of it that way, I was like, okay, yeah, who cares about these bumps on my face? Who cares? Because the cold will go away. And I don't want skincare to become this like fad about who's the prettiest. I want skincare to be a staple for everyone, where it's really just about do what's best for the health of your skin. For some people, that might just literally mean like cleanser, serum, moisturizer. Cool. For my brother, like I spent the time and like, you know, interviewed him about his skin and like grilled him about all this stuff about his skin. I keep like leaning down. I spent the time and I grilled him about his skin. And then I was like, great, here are 4 products. That's your routine. And the only reason it was 4 is because I was like, you will be wearing SPF in the morning. That was it. Green tea cleanser, Sun and Park beauty water, and like a night cream from My Unique, and then the Cosrx sunscreen. Boom, that's his 4 products. That's all he uses. And when he needs more, he just texts me and I send him the Yes Style link and he gets more. It's not difficult. It is not grand. It's not exciting. It's not 20 steps and emulsions and mask and whatever, but it's working. His skin looks radiant. Yes, he'll have the occasional like pimple or the occasional remnants of old acne scars. But when I see him, his skin physically looks radiant. Always now. Like it's noticeable. Like he'll walk in and I'll be like, oh wow, his skin looks really radiant. We just want healthy skin. And every now and then your skin will cough and sneeze and you'll have these moments and it's gonna kind of suck, but you just give him some medicine, but you don't tear yourself up about it. And you don't tear other people up about it. And you don't have super unrealistic expectations that you're suddenly going to make your face someone else's. Your face is going to do what it does. I think that's how you learn how to have a healthy relationship with skincare. There's a lot of pressure going on right now in the world, and there's a lot of things to feel bad about. The last thing you should feel bad about is that you don't got crazy smooth skin like this random girl that you saw on an Instagram thread. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. There's so many other things to worry about in this life. Worrying about that's not worth it. Instead, I don't know, do a 15-minute oil cleanse massage on your face. You, and you just, and rub away your insecurities and stresses and do that instead, you know? So I'll just end this by saying, wash your face. Yes, exfoliate. And I'm never talking about physical exfoliate. I'm only talking about chemical. Please, God. Yes, exfoliate. And treat your skin like how you want to be treated. Because your skin is a part of you. Don't be so concerned about making them something they're not. And rather give them the tools to make them the best version of themselves. Give your face what it needs to be the best version of itself, not necessarily what it needs to become this random person you saw on Instagram. It's not worth it. Anyways, that has been my nighttime musings in Grace's evening space. I am now going to go wash my face and do the rest of my nighttime routine and go to bed. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Tell me what your favorite part of your routine is. Mine is, as I've said, it's the oil cleanse routine, the oil cleanse for this reason. But, you know, some people really like putting on SPF. They like putting on moisturizer. They like doing a mask. Tell me what you love about skincare below. Also, how do you feel about TikTok skincare? As you can tell, I'm not the biggest fan. But I'm also not the biggest fan of TikTok, so that may just be me. But yes, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more videos, and I'll see you next time. Good night and goodbye. Lies that I ain't got a bottle to my name and all up a faint and all I need is running a couple of contracts and a stop not brain. Let me go wash this oil cleanser off. I'm tired.